Hi friends, I welcome you to the next video on final accounts. Now in this video we'll again deal with depreciation. Many of you would have encountered depreciation inside and outside the trial balance. So here we are going to unravel the mystery. If depreciation is shown inside the trial balance, how to deal with it. If depreciation is not shown inside the trial balance, then how do you deal with it? So we can see an illustration here which I have written for you. Extract of a trial balance on 31st March 22 is given. Extract means this is only a small portion, it is not a complete trial balance. Particulars: debit credit, building 9 lakh rupees, machinery 4 lakh 25,000, computer 75,000, depreciation 2 lakh, and there is no additional information given outside the trial balance. So how do you solve this problem? This is a plain vanilla problem, very simple to solve. So I'll simply prepare P&L account 31st March 22, balance sheet as on 31st March 22. Building, I'll show in the balance sheet, building 9 lakh on the asset side. Machinery, I'll show on the balance sheet asset side 4 lakh 25,000. Computer, I'll show on the balance sheet asset side 75,000. Depreciation 2 lakh, it is an expense, so I debit it to P&L account to depreciation 2 lakh rupees. So I have debited my P&L account. When I see depreciation in the trial balance, I am of the opinion that the entry for depreciation has been recorded. The loss has been recorded in the books of account. There is a ledger for depreciation in the books of account, and that ledger, we can say in that ledger we have posted entries for the depreciation on building, machinery and computer, and no additional information is given to you below the trial balance. That means depreciation has been properly recorded, so the loss is shown in the P&L account. The assets are shown in the asset side of the balance sheet. So this is how we solve the plain vanilla problem. Okay. Now let us take the next situation. What is the second situation now? You are given extract of a trial balance on 31st March 22. Building not 1 lakh, it is 10 lakh rupees. Machinery 5 lakh rupees. Computer 1 lakh rupees. There are some adjustments which are requested. So either the auditor or you yourself have found some errors. We want to make some adjustments while preparing the final accounts. Adjustments: depreciate building by 10%. Now what you are saying is we have forgotten to record depreciation, that is why we have to now record depreciation. Depreciate building by 10% on this amount, machinery by 15% and computer by 25% on WDV. So on these values we want to find out the depreciation, and we have to depreciate them now. That means the entry for depreciation has not been recorded till now. So now how do you deal with it? So what I do is I'll prepare the balance sheet here. Balance sheet as on 31st March 22. Building, I'll show in the inner column 10 lakh rupees. I'll leave some space. Machinery 5 lakh rupees. Computer 1 lakh rupees, and I'm leaving some space. Okay. I'll also prepare the profit and loss account for year ended 31st March 22. Debit, credit. Now I know that I am now required to depreciate these assets. I am required to adjust the values given in the trial balance. So I have forgotten to write, this is simple, I have forgotten to record depreciation entries. Now I have to record. So I am going to pass the entries like this. Depreciation account, debtor to building account, 10 lakhs, 10% is 1 lakh rupees. That is 10 lakh into 10%. Plus I have to pass one more entry. P&L account debit to depreciation, because I have to close depreciation account also. This is a nominal account, it cannot be left open at the end of the year. One more entry, depreciation account debtor to machinery account. I forgotten to record entry for depreciation of machinery also, 75,000. How did I get 75,000? It is 5 lakh into 15%. Plus I have to pass one more entry, P&L account debit to depreciation, 75,000. I would have to record depreciation entry for computer as well. Depreciation account debit to computer account, 25,000. How did I get 25,000? 1 lakh was the value of the computer into 25%. Plus I'll pass one more entry, P&L account debit to depreciation, 25,000. So these are the entries I have passed now to give impact of depreciation. So according to this entry, I have to credit building account, I have to credit machinery, I have to credit computer. If I credit an asset, the value is going to reduce. Building account is showing a debit balance. If I credit the account, the balance will reduce. Machinery is showing a debit balance. If I credit the account, the balance is going to reduce. Computer account was showing a debit balance. If I credit the account, the balance is going to reduce. So I go to the balance sheet. I'll write here depreciation less 1 lakh, outer column 9 lakh, depreciation 75,000, outer column 4 lakh 25,000, under computer depreciation 25,000, outer column I'll write 75,000. Then we also passed one more entry, P&L account has to be debited, and we have to write two depreciation, 1 lakh 75 and 25. So P&L account has to be debited with 1 lakh 75 and 25, that is 2 lakh. I'll give a single debit posting here. I'll write two depreciation, 1 lakh. We can even write a single debit posting just for the ease. I'm writing three different depreciations here. Depreciation, or if you want, you can write depreciation on building, on machinery, on computer, like this. So this is how I deal with the P&L account in this particular problem. Now if you compare it with the last problem, you find that the solutions are identical. Building 9 lakh, 425, computer 75, and the total debit in the P&L account was 2 lakhs. Earlier also it was 2 lakh. So this is how I deal with depreciation when it is given outside the trial balance or when it has not been recorded in the books of accounts, and at the time of finalization of the P&L account or the balance sheet, you decide to record depreciation. Let us now move on to the third situation which is given to us. Extract of a trial balance on 31st March 22. Building 9 lakh, machinery 4 lakh 25,000, computer 1 lakh, depreciation 1 lakh 75,000. Adjustments: depreciate computer by 25% under WDV. So now what the problem is telling you is, it is saying we have to now depreciate computer by 25%. That means it has not been depreciated earlier. But what about building and machinery? The problem is silent about it, and we can see that there is one depreciation account inside the trial balance. That means we are assuming that the depreciation on building and machinery is already recorded and it has been shown in the ledger accounts as well as in the trial balance, but we have forgotten to record entry for depreciation on computer. That is why it is shown in the adjustments, or we are now required to make the corrections. So how do you deal with this problem? It is very simple now. P&L account, and this is my balance sheet. Please excuse me for my handwriting. Building, I'll now straight away show it in the outer column 9 lakh. Machinery, I'll show in the outer column 4 lakh 25,000. Computer, I'll write in the inner column 1 lakh because I know that there is some adjustment which I have to do. Depreciation, I'll write 1,75,000 here on the debit side. Now we know that you have to make an adjustment, depreciate computer by 25% on WDV. Now we have to record an entry for depreciation. What are the entries I'm going to record? Adjustment entries have to make. Depreciation account, debit 25,000 to computer account 25,000. One more entry. P&L account, debit 25,000 to depreciation 25,000. So how do I deal with this now? Depreciation account will be debited and computer account has to be credited. So I'll go to computer account and I'll say depreciation less 25,000, and in the outer column I'll write 75,000. P&L account has to be debited with depreciation. I'll again write to depreciation 25,000. Now again the total becomes equal to 2 lakh. If I compare with this problem, if we try to compare our problems, this 25,000, this entirely is now same as here what is given here, and these things also become equal now. So if you observe, all of them would be equal now. So this is how we deal with depreciation when it is given inside sometimes the trial balance, sometimes it is given as an adjustment in the trial balance, outside the trial balance. Sometimes depreciation appears both inside and outside the trial balance. So this is how we deal with depreciation when we are doing final accounts problem. Thank you.